Hi, my name is George ALGER. Welcome to another edition of Our Ventura. And today I'm speaking with Kay Giles, who is the president of the Ventura Education Partnership. Welcome, Kay.
Thank you very much, George.
So let's just start out with the basics. What is the Ventura Education Partnership?
Ventura Education Partnership is the foundation that supports all of the public schools in Ventura, the 27 schools in Ventura Unified School District. We were founded in 1988, went through a slight name change, and have been the Ventura Education Partnership since 1996.
Great. Now, give me some examples of what that means by supports the school system.
Certainly, we raise a lot of money. We give away over $100,000 a year in grants to teachers throughout the district. It's a competitive grant process, so any of the teachers in all of our 27 schools can apply for grants. So we support teachers financially, but I also see our role as to support public education from an advocacy point of view, to advocate for schools in public education, especially today with the budget cuts.
Wow. So is this a very unique program in Ventura, or is this something that many states or cities actually have incorporated over the years?
I believe many districts have foundations that support them. In Ventura, I think most parents and community members are very familiar with their PTAs and their PTOs that support their schools individually. They raise money, and I'm sure that everyone's familiar with all the bake sales and the jogathons and the wrapping paper that individual parent organizations sell to raise money for their individual schools. But we are unique in Ventura that we raise money and support all of the schools, all 27 schools.
Well, on that note, Kay, so how does the VEP differentiate itself from the parent-teacher organization? How is it similar? How is it different?
As I said, we support all of the schools, and I think on an individual level, I think many schools are only familiar with their parent organization, and so we are trying to get the word out more. I think teachers are very familiar with us, but not that the community isn't always familiar. The teachers twice a year apply to us for grants. So they are very familiar with the opportunities that we have. Once a year we have a huge event called Festival of Talent, and we invite teachers, students, parents, the whole community to try out for our event, and it's our biggest fundraiser for the Ground Smart program. And that's a talent show essentially for the whole district, the whole community to participate. So we hold it every February.
Great. And then how many people are on staff here to support this?
We're all volunteer board. We
Okay.
have 25 members of our board, but we are all volunteers. That means all of the money raised goes directly into Ventura classrooms.
That is fantastic.
Yes.
Now, do you also try to advocate any types of educational programs themselves in the school, or are you completely independent from that? You're just supplying the money based on the request for grants?
We also support the program. We raised money and helped the district come up with an arts master plan, for instance, and they hired a consultant using that money, and they were able to come up with a plan to make sure that arts education is an integral part of education K through 12 in our district. So in that way we are supporting curriculum across the whole district and supporting technology needs, and also the wellness policy of the district, health and wellness.
That's great. Do you also coordinate or communicate with other similar entities in other parts of the state or other parts of the country?
Not so much. We have we attend leadership conferences with Ventura County through the VCCF, the Ventura County Community Foundation. We're taking part in leadership conferences there and trying to improve our skills. As I said, we're all volunteers. So, but we do focus our attention on Ventura.
Okay, good.
So.
And then in terms of the events and the programs throughout the year, you mentioned the primary one that you have early in the year, in February. And is there a regular schedule of events that occur all year long, or does it kind of vary from year to year?
No, we've got into a pattern of we do Festival of Talent in February. In June, or early June or late May, we do Summerfest, which is a huge event. Last year we had about 7,000 people attend, and it won the Best Event of the Year award in 2010 from the Governor's Council on Physical Fitness. It's a day to celebrate wellness and physical fitness. It's an event, outdoor event, where families can come and learn all about how to be physically fit and well in our community. Through our sponsorships, we pay for the event, and then we also use all of the profits from that event to fund health and wellness grants. But in itself, it is a huge awareness event for our community. For as I said, roughly 7,000 people attended last year. We also have, in November, we have StoryFest, which we do in conjunction with First Five's Ventura Neighborhood for Learning. And that's a similar event, although smaller, for young children, 0 to 5 in our community. It's a celebration of literacy. We set up story tents, again, outdoors, and we have celebrities from our community, including the police chief or the fire chief, the mayor, reading to children, and every child who attends receives a free book. And also, over the last few years, we've done a benefit arts concert. We did one at the Olivas Adobe, and we're hoping to do one very soon with a platinum award-winning band. So
that is fantastic.
Yes.
Wow. So this is quite a lot of different activities that you're orchestrating.
Yes. And as I said, twice a year, too, in addition to the events, we have our Grant Smart program. On March 1st and October 1st of each year are the deadlines for teachers to submit grants. And then we have a grant reading committee that considers those grants in a competitive process.
Great. Now, Kay, how did you become inspired to get involved with this and then become the president?
I started off at an individual school level. I was the president of Mound School PTO for a couple of years when my kids were in elementary school. Got very involved at the individual school level, and then learned about Ventura Education Partnership, learned about the Festival of Talent, and got involved with like-minded people, supporting all of the schools, not just the schools that my children are attending.
Got it. Now, I imagine in this era of budget cuts that, certainly the schools and all other programs are having to confront what you are providing in terms of additional funding must be in demand even more so. Have you felt that?
Oh, certainly. And we give away over $100,000 a year, but we do need to keep in mind that over the last couple of years, the district has lost $20 million. And coming up with, if the governor's initiatives don't pass, we may lose another $6 to $7 million out of the next year's budget. So we certainly cannot replace the millions that have been lost. And we do. That's where I think we come into advocacy, where, for instance, VEP did endorse Measure H, which was a parcel tax for Ventura schools. Unfortunately, it didn't pass. It got 60% of the vote. It needed 2/3. That would have been a legislative solution. So we continue to advocate for, generally, for supporting school budgets and supporting public education. It's dire circumstances, and certainly our foundation cannot hope to replace the $20 million. So that's where it comes in that we, as I said, we need to be vocal in supporting our teachers. But we do see that with the grants, that whereas our grants used to be considered enrichment, they now are very basic. We have teachers applying for basics such as calculators, computers, art supplies, to take their children on, their students on field trips. It's very, very basic. And
wow.
Teachers appreciate the support that we can give them.
Yeah. How about in terms of the community being able to support the VEP more to help you do your work? What kind of support are you after? I presume more volunteers, perhaps people can help with more events, or let me
certainly,
hear it from you.
Yes, certainly. We welcome financial support of sponsorships. Businesses and individuals are welcome to sponsor our events and our programs, to give donations to our Grant Smart program, or to sponsor one of our events. We do honor the designation of the donor. We have had in the past, for instance, I'll give an example of Patagonia donated $5,000 to us and asked that we spend it, that we designate that grant money to go for science and the environment. So when the teachers submitted their grant proposals, we picked grant proposals that followed those guidelines. So we do have donors who say, here, I'd like you to use this money for art or for science or for technology, who designate it. Others donate monies and asks us to just put it in the general fund for any grant proposals that come in.
Now, by the way, is there any type of recognition for the businesses that do forward money for these programs?
Certainly. Donors of over $1,000 are recognized annually at the Education Service Center, which is the school district office on West Stanley Avenue. There is a donor wall for Ventura Education Partnership, and each year we recognize donors of over $1,000 up on the wall. Also, donors are recognized at our events. We do put up banners, and for instance, our Summerfest event each year has been sponsored. The title sponsors have been Kaiser Permanente and Community Memorial Hospital, and their names are prominently displayed at the event.
Okay. And how has the group cultivated sponsors that already exist, and how are they getting more sponsors?
We're trying to get the word out. We have what we call our annual fund. Debbie Golden, who's our Vice President of Finance, sends out an annual fund brochure every year, and we do try and approach the business community and individuals, and also recently we've been looking for more grant funding. We've been going out and trying to find grants to support some of these activities. So an example would be just recently we found out that Lowe's had a grant for school projects, and we were able to secure $2,000 to help one of our schools, Blanche Reynolds School, complete an outdoor classroom. So that's a new source for us.
That's great. So this was probably initiated by someone, one of the volunteers in the VEP, and then they did the research and found this out, and then of course I would imagine the group would just support it.
That's right.
Good. So then I could imagine more volunteers would always be desirable.
At our events, of course, with an event, for instance, Summerfest, with 7,000 people attending, it does take an army of volunteers to put it on. So we're always looking for volunteers to just help, and generally it's very fun. So it's not.
Well, good. So we're kind of winding down here. So let's make sure that we have laid out the avenues that people can take advantage of to either volunteer in any way to support the VEP or to donate money. How could people do so?
They can look, we have a website. It's www.vep4VUSD.org, VEP4VUSD.org. And all of our different programs are laid out there. Certainly on the individual school sites, spread the word that grant money is available to support teachers. Parents can help teachers write grants for projects that need to be done at their school sites. And generally to get involved, as you say, with volunteering at our events or supporting our events monetarily with sponsorships.
Okay. We're just about out of time here. Is there any sort of summating message you'd like to communicate to the viewers?
I'd say I'll close with our motto. It's investing in children, enriching our community. I feel that children are our most important resource. And I once heard a line that said, even if you don't have children in our district, the current 7th grader in 20 years could be your doctor, could be your engineer, could be the worker building the bridge that you're going to drive over. So it really is in your selfish best interest as well as your selfless interest to support schools.
Well said.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kay, for joining us today.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching this segment of OurVentura.com. Until we meet again, take care.